Hey everybody, I'm Kris. Welcome to the channel. This is Kris's Kitchen, and today I'm in the garden with my red currant bush, and we're going to be harvesting some red currants to make some red currant jelly. So come along and let's get started. Hey, subscribe to the channel. I make all sorts of cool fun stuff in the kitchen: canning, processing, gardening, and making soapy fun cool stuff. So red currants are a perennial deciduous leafy bush, and it grows quite well in my zone, which is zone 5. I live in the North Okanagan of British Columbia, and I've had this bush for maybe about 15 years. So red currant is part of the gooseberry family, if you didn't know. It produces wonderful little tiny red fruit, and as you can see, just hundreds and hundreds of them. So it's native to Western Europe, although cultivated all over the world. Some cool nutritional facts about currants: they are loaded with vitamin C, relatively low carb if you do consider that. They're quite high in fiber, and like most berries, they're okay for the keto diet or anyone doing low carb. But they also have vitamin K, B vitamins, and then some trace minerals, I think, like, manganese and phosphorus and potassium and different things like that. So there's lots of good reasons to consume currants, and I believe they're probably medicinal. I'm sure you could use them as a cough syrup base as well. That would be really cool. Okay, so all you have to do to harvest your currants is basically snip them off at the stem. So to harvest the currants, all you do is snip off at the top of the stem there and harvest all the little fruits. And so they come in clusters of maybe 5 to 10 berries. There you go. Aren't those pretty? Okay. I'm sure you could make wine or cider or something like that out of these as well. You could definitely make a red currant vinegar. I've done that. That's really good. Homemade vinegar making is super fun, and something to do with extra fruit. And look at that stem there, just loaded with berries. So these berries are going to be processed right when we go into the house. I always like to try to get my fruit from the farm or pick it on the day I intend on processing it. I really don't like having mass quantities, 10, 20 pounds of fruit laying around for days waiting for me to get to. It's simply not ideal for processing and canning. So really try to make sure that you're making use of it right away. From this one bush alone, I'll probably be able to make a red currant jelly, the currant lime syrup, of course, and then definitely a couple like combination jams. So maybe a currant rhubarb or something of that nature, currant blueberry or currant Saskatoon, which are also in season right here, right now. So I'll combine whatever local wild available berries I can and make some jams with the extra berries that I don't use in the jelly and the syrup that I'm going to make. And you could just definitely individually pick the berries off the stem if you wanted to harvest it that way. But I find that to take a lot more time, and this is just a lot quicker. The way that you know your red currants are done, they'll just pull really easily and individually off the stem, and they'll be really soft and squishy. You can taste them. They'll definitely taste tart even when they're ripe. They're going to be quite tart. That's just the type of fruit they are. But they will be palatable to eat raw and fresh if they're, at least in my opinion, if they are properly ripe. If they're not ripe, they'll be just way too sour and not enjoyable at all. But keep in mind, I do enjoy eating sour cherries fresh and raw. So that is kind of a subjective thing, I suppose. So some of the berries are definitely a little riper. Like for example, this is really nice and ripe here. Oops, I just broke that. Pruning. Anyways, these are wonderful and ripe. And then some of the berries on this bush here could definitely go another week or so, which is great because I can make 3 different batches, like I said before, of different preserves and produce, and save the work for a couple of days. Look how loaded this one is. Isn't that amazing? So here is my red currant harvest. Beautiful. There you go. And I would say I've roughly harvested about 6 cups of berries, just really in the time it took me to talk about the berries to you guys. So really no time at all, maybe about 20 minutes or so of actual harvesting time. If you can grow most berry, you'll be able to grow a currant. They do not require, at least my variety does not require me to have 2 different bushes, so that's a plus. Some of them do. For instance, blueberry requires 2 plants, and the hascap or the honeyberry also require 2 plants. So a lot of berries do work that way, where they need a male or a female or 2 different varieties to be properly pollinated or whatever. But these are great. Currants are great because they don't, so they're super easy to grow and really require very little care, and you just get so much beautiful abundance from growing them. So if you've never grown them, give it a go. I can't wait to use these in the kitchen, so stay tuned for that. And if you like this video, give it a like and subscribe to my channel. We'll be doing lots more videos of this nature, so thank you. Yep, they're tart.